Good morning, I'm here. I can hear you
Yeah,
loud
good
and
to
clear.
have you on the show with us. So, let me start from all the activities that happened over the weekend, and the fact that we got an announcement from the Inspector General of Police that this unit has been disbanded. In your view, do you think it's the first step in the right direction, or are we saying we're still not content with that directive?
I want to believe that it is a commendable decision,
Okay.
but you must understand why Nigerians are skeptical about this. We ourselves are having measured optimism towards the pronouncement. And what people still see on the street is that what they have disbanded or dissolved or banned or disbanded are still operational on ground. And remember, from the advocacy end, we have the objective as End SARS, which stands for End Impunity, and Reform Police NG. Now, but even if we have achieved, or if we are to say that we have achieved the shutdown of SARS and the other formations, we are still seeing human rights abuses with the police. So because of that, people felt they would be more comfortable hearing an executive order from Mr. President himself so that they can know that for this time around, it is real. But aside from that, there are other demands ranging from the immediate release of all protesters that have been arrested, also for justice for all deceased victims of police brutality and appropriate compensations for their families, also the setting up of an independent body to oversee investigations and prosecutions of all reports of police misconduct, especially with evidence within a very short period. And also in line with the Police Act, we want to know if you are going to absorb these people into anything, are they going to be subjected to psychological evaluation and retraining before you can confirm them all over again? So also, again, we want to see that there is also an executive order as far as we're concerned on the remuneration of the police.
SARS is just a unit of the police, and now they'll be, absorbed into other units. We have a major problem with the way our government, over the years, every administration in this country has, relegated, degraded, and ridiculed that segment called, that section of society called police or the police force. How do we, because when SARS and reform SARS or whatever you call it will come and go, but the system remains. So how do we go to the root of the issue and at least put some form of dignity on this kind of work called policing?
Yeah, thank you. Remember, we are not for reform SARS. We are here to end the culture of impunity, which is all formations of the silos. These things are ad hoc programs. These units are ad hoc programs. They are intervention squads that were created to solve a particular problem. Well, probably the problem then was that they didn't give an expiry date. Usually they should have an expiry date. So you don't just keep maintaining them, even when they are faulty. See, the problem of the police, they are so numerous, just like the problem of Nigeria. We have a budget, for example. Look at the 2020 budget, a budget that ignores training and equipment of the police. Wow. You understand? So it's one of those things. There is also institutional vandalism and emasculation of the leadership in policing. The IG of police will never have never had independence, in terms of operational independence. He's always taking orders from the president, even if these orders are not, aligning with the interest of the people or aligning with the interest of best practices and standard in the police globally. Right. Militarization of the police for regime security and impunity. So you can imagine the way it is now, you can see very well that the police is still acting as though we're still operating the 1943 Act, which creates them to protect the rulership from those who are ruled.
You said earlier that the Nigerian youth are asking for assurances. They need something concrete from the government. But the truth is that an executive order, is that even concrete enough? So my question therefore to you is, now that they've met the people halfway, isn't it time to go back and dialogue, not continue on the street? Because even if you get an executive order, it doesn't mean that these 5 demands will be met by an executive order.
Okay, I need to clarify some things. What you are seeing now is not something we've seen before in the history of our democracy. We have the citizens of Nigeria for the first time coming together to say we stand as one. Of course, we can no longer be divided because we have a common ground. And then while we're doing that on the streets, peacefully, according to what the Constitution have empowered, we are also dialoguing. We are having dialogues. Like I told you, there are so many conversations going on as we speak. In a few hours, we're going to have a meeting with the IG of Police and the National Human Rights Commission. And also, there are several dialogues going on to ensure that structures are put in place to actualize and materialize what the president has put in place, the order that has been given.
One of my worry for the disbandment of SARS is the fact that by the time they redeploy them, they are still going to have the same behavior in the other, whatever name we call it. For me, it's just a change of nomenclature. So, and you know that even when you want to evaluate them, it's going to take a while. Behavioral change takes quite a while for it to be effective. Now, are we okay with not just having that name SARS? Or is there any process of what's the timeline of waiting through before that deployment happens? Is there any concrete plan in place for that?
What we're seeing now is people who are in an ad hoc squad, in a squad, who have been operating for a while in active, they are the soldiers of the Nigerian police. And now they have been disbanded, and that means they are all relegated to the desk. So with the desk, you're not going to see them on the field, you're not going to see them carrying guns, you're not going to see them until they've completed their evaluation, psychological evaluation or so. And at the end of the day, they will be re-examined to see whether they are fit for purpose. And those who are not will probably be assigned some other duties that will not have to do with the engagement of the people. So you probably will not see them again, and this kind of crime will not be there. But again, for that to happen, it will take a lot of monitoring. Yes. It will take a lot of evaluation. It will take a lot of follow-up, because people don't do what you expect, they do what you inspect, especially an institution like the police institution that has been beleaguered for quite a while.